Hey everybody, in this video we're talking about prepping for the fourth quarter for your print-on-demand business. If you're watching this video around the time that I released it in August, then the time is right to do your planning for your planning, if that makes sense. So this video is going to be all about some things you can do to prep for fourth quarter. These are just some tips that I have found helpful over the last few years. We're going to break this down into two categories, the admin business type stuff and then the niche or product research category. So let's start with some of the business admin type stuff you can do to prep for the fourth quarter. The first thing I have for you to consider doing to help yourself out is set a lot of calendar reminders. Whatever tool you like to use, this could be as simple as just the default calendar on your phone, or it could be some other app that you use. So whatever you like to do to set reminders for yourself, consider adding a few different new sort of categories of reminders for the fourth quarter. The first category of calendar reminders that I would suggest setting for yourself would be timing of when to publish listings for specific events in the fourth quarter. Now, publish is not the same thing as research and create. So the researching and creating listings can all happen before, but these calendar reminders that I'm suggesting are the ideal times to actually publish listings that you're targeting for a specific event. One of the tools I love to use to identify the right time for this is Google Trends. This doesn't have to be specific to your selling platform, which I think is great. This tip kind of applies no matter what platform you sell on. Of course, we mostly talk about Etsy on my channel, but this could apply to any platform. So just for example, I just ran a very general search for Halloween shirt, and this is looking at the United States for the last 5 years. Now, Halloween has a very short shopping season, and it's very defined. So you'll see there's a spike every year right before Halloween of people searching for the phrase Halloween shirt. What we're going to do is use this to figure out when is the ideal time to publish and republish any of our Halloween listings just in time for the Halloween shopping season. Now, of course, you don't want to set your reminder to publish these listings right at the peak of shopping because you want your listing to be out there and have a chance to make some sales. What you want to do is look for the time each year when there starts to be a sharp rise. And you can also do this for a couple of related terms using Google Trends. You don't have to do it for just one. For Halloween, this is probably the only one you need to look at because Halloween, like I said, it's very defined and very short. So if you just look at about when each year does the search volume start to really trend upward, what I'm seeing here is last week of August, first week of September. So that's the trend. It looks like between first and second week of September is the ideal time to publish Halloween themed listings. So anything t-shirt, sweatshirt, costume, all over print shirts that are part of a costume. Now, the reason why you want to set a reminder for a specific timing, this tip is specific to Etsy. Etsy gives new listings a little bit of a bump in search rankings right after you first publish that listing. So basically, Etsy wants to know, is this brand new listing potentially going to sell as well or better than the listings that are already high up in the search rankings? So they give you a short window of time where you rank higher in search for those related keywords. And with highly seasonal designs like Halloween themed shirts and shirts that you want to be part of a costume, because this shopping window is so small, you want to get that little bump at the best possible time. So you would be wasting that little boost that Etsy gives you by publishing it outside of this ideal time frame. So that's why I recommend using a calendar reminder at a specific time, and then whatever Halloween designs you've already prepared, that's when you publish them. Anything new that you've created, you can still create the listing on Etsy, just save it as a draft and don't publish it until your calendar reminder pops. One other tip that applies to very seasonal designs that I would recommend, if you, like me, don't let your listings auto-renew all year long, and I recommend that you don't, by the way. I have a whole video about that. Your highly seasonal designs, which really are only purchased at a certain time of year, those are going to expire when those designs are out of season. So your Halloween-themed shirts are likely going to expire 4 months after Halloween because they're not selling anymore. And then you can leave them in your expired listings section of your Etsy shop until next Halloween. And then you can come back and republish them at that time instead of paying 20 cents to have them renew multiple times all year long at times when nobody is buying them. So when that calendar reminder pops that, hey, it's time to publish your Halloween designs, don't forget, you want to look at your draft listings on your product listings page in your Etsy account, but you also want to go to your expired listings page in your Etsy seller account, which is over on the right-hand side of the screen here. We'll select expired. And then if you have a ton of expired listings still in here, you can always use the search and just search for like Halloween or whatever keywords you would have used in your designs if you want to filter them that way to look for ones you might want to republish, or you can always just browse them if you don't have a ton of pages to go through here. So you're going to repeat this process for each of the major shopping trends in the fourth quarter. So you can do this for Halloween, you can do this for Thanksgiving, you can do this for Christmas, you can do it for Hanukkah. You can do pretty much any search phrase that's likely to have a seasonal trend like this that would apply in the fourth quarter. You can use Google Trends, try and figure out when is the ideal time to publish those listings, and then set yourself a calendar reminder to do that. All right, there's 3 more calendar reminders that I personally use to help keep myself on track, because otherwise I would kind of forget the specific timing and maybe do some of these things a little bit late. So the next one is a reminder for setting up my sales and promotions that I want to run at various times. So for example, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. The reason why I don't actually just create those sales or those coupon codes that I'm going to use in my Etsy shop ahead of time, this might be different if you don't sell on Etsy. If you sell on another platform, you might have more control over this. But when you set up a sale on Etsy, one of the things that happens is you go through the stages here. If you're creating a sale, I can set, hey, I want to do 25% off for the Black Friday weekend. I can go ahead right now in August and set that up. I can skip ahead to November. I can go, hey, here's the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. I can continue here, and then I can say whether I want that to be everything in the store or if I want to do specific listings. Now, the only reason I don't do this ahead of time is because I don't do the all listings option when I run promotions. And for me, that specifically is because my profit margins vary by type of product. So for example, my mugs, I tend to get more of like a close to 40% profit margin. So Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I might do 25% off on my mugs, and I'll take a hit on the profit there, but it's still going to be okay for the volume that I do that weekend. But my t-shirts, I run closer to a 30% profit margin, so I don't want to give 25% off. I basically won't make any money if I do that. So I want to do like 15% off on t-shirts for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which means I can't just do one sale for my whole shop. The reason that matters on Etsy is that when you do all listings, if you can do all listings, this future scheduled sale will apply to future listings you might create. It even says it right here, current and future listings. So if you can do all listings, then you can schedule it in advance, and you can still create and publish new listings between now and then. And those new listings that you publish will be included in this future sale. But if you do select listings, that doesn't work. So unfortunately, any new products that I create between now and this scheduled sale, I would need to manually come back to the sale and add those additional products in after I create them. And I just personally don't trust myself to remember to do that. So I don't actually create this sale until right before the event, because that way I make sure I've captured any of the new listings I created for the last couple of months. The next type of calendar reminder that I use, another pretty simple one, and it may or may not be needed for you depending on what you use for social media. I also set a calendar reminder at a different time to go in and create the posts that I want to send out. Now, these could be emails that you're sending to your email list. You want to just get those things created and built and scheduled to go. It could be posts for your Instagram account, your Twitter account, your Facebook account for your business. Whatever that is, you want to set calendar reminders for yourself to do that at the time that you want it to be done. Unless you use a social media tool or management type service that allows you to schedule out your posts for everything. If that's the case, then you can make them whenever you want and just schedule them to go at the specific time you want. There's a lot of different options on the market for that. I'll link to a couple in the description that I've done a little bit of looking into, but I don't personally use any service to schedule my social media posts. So I use just a basic calendar reminder, and then I go and create it at the time that the reminder pops. And the last type of calendar reminder that I recommend setting for yourself is a reminder to adjust your order processing and shipping times. Now, I have a whole separate video about Q4 prep and sort of preparing for shipping delays and things like that. So I will link to that video in the corner and in the description, because I provide a lot more detail in that video than what I'm going to do here. But basically, around the first week of November is when I start really taking a look at my Printify print provider's status. Printify has a whole page on their website called the Print Provider Network Status, where they give an update on the current production status of all their print providers in all countries. They'll indicate the average production time estimate and whether there are any impacts to the current production times. So it could say anything from production not affected to slight delay. And right now, in August, when I'm filming this, nobody has a red category, but I think there's a red category to indicate if there's a longer delay with production for any reason. So the first week of November, I start coming back here and checking this much more frequently. Now, other print-on-demand platforms, if you don't use Printify, they generally will start sending updates via email in the fourth quarter to all of their sellers to let them know like the current status or if there are delays. So just keep an eye on your email if you use another platform that isn't Printify. If they don't have a page you can go to find that information. Again, watch that other video if you want my whole process for what I do. But the bottom line is if you start seeing that some of the print providers you use are getting longer in their production times, you want to come to your shipping profiles and make some updates. So like this is my t-shirt shipping profile. I would click on edit. I would come in here and under the processing time, I would extend this range. So my average right now, I have just left it at 2 to 5 business days. But if I'm starting to see some delays and I want to make sure that my orders aren't showing up as late on Etsy, then I would come in here and maybe put like 4 to 7 or 4 to 8 business days as we get further into fourth quarter. Again, you don't have to do that if you're not experiencing delays because you don't want to make it look like it's going to take a super long time for delivery if it's not. But if you're starting to see some of your orders get delayed, or if you see that you know Printify is telling you your print provider is experiencing delays, you want to make this adjustment to your shipping profiles so that your orders aren't all showing up as late in your Etsy account. Okay, so that's all my sort of business admin tips for scheduling some time on your calendar to make sure you're doing all the things you need to do for the fourth quarter and doing them at the right time. Now let's just talk about a couple tips I have for you to prepare for fourth quarter when it comes to design and product research. The main tip I have for you is don't get too focused on specific holiday themed designs. Generally speaking, there are opportunities out there for holiday themed designs like I don't know, maybe designs that are Christmas pajamas, like matching Christmas pajama t-shirts for a whole family. Those types of niches, there are still opportunities out there, but a lot of the holiday themed niches are kind of general. I'm not saying don't research the holiday specific designs for holidays like Christmas, but at the same time, one really easy thing that everybody can do is think about what do you shop for around each of the major events in the fourth quarter. For example, Halloween, what do you shop for Halloween? It could be a Halloween specific shirt that like you're only going to wear this one time a year because you like Halloween and you just want to wear a Halloween themed shirt. It could also be a shirt you're looking for as part of a costume that you're going to wear, right? So either of those two things kind of push you in slightly different directions as far as what you're going to research for potential niches. But when it comes to a holiday like Christmas, maybe you buy a nice holiday themed shirt because you enjoy the Christmas season and you want to wear a shirt that's got a Christmas theme. But what you probably shop a lot more for is gifts for other people. People give gifts to other people based on what they think that other person will like, and that could be anything. So my somewhat long-winded point is when you're thinking about holidays like Christmas or Hanukkah, don't just focus on the holiday itself. Do the same research that you would always do as far as what niches are there opportunities in, where is there lower competition, where is their search volume, because anything could be given as a gift. Any of the core sort of staples of print on demand tend to make good gift items, and that would be things like t-shirts, sweatshirts, and mugs. The only other thing I'll mention is if you're open to doing personalized designs or if you already do them, personalized gifts do tend to do pretty well in the fourth quarter as well. So don't forget to add some new personalized designs if that's part of your strategy. Just as a super general example, if you have no idea where to get started, start searching on Etsy for some general search terms, not with the intent of trying to get into these niches, but to look for some trends that are coming up on the first couple pages of search results. For example, I put in a search phrase here of dad gift from daughter, and this was a suggested phrase. I just started typing dad gift, and Etsy suggested to me dad gift from daughter. So that's what I went with. What I'm going to do now is look at what's coming up in search results, because people do search for this, and the first couple pages of search results are going to be things that people are actually buying. These are all just things that are a gift for a dad that people have bought. So you could definitely find inspiration in the first couple pages of search results to now look deeper and maybe look at more specific search phrases and niches that could be good gift items. But like I said, I would not make a listing with dad gift from daughter as like the first part of the title or the only tags you're using, because there are 98,000 search results here. So you're going to want to just use this as a jumping off point if you're not sure where to start. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope you found some of the tips helpful for planning for the fourth quarter. Let me know in the comments if anything was helpful, or if you have your own tips to share with other print-on-demand sellers about prepping for the fourth quarter, whether it's on the business admin side of things or on the niche and product research side of things. Do me a favor and hit that like button if you did find the video helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to the POD Insights channel, and don't forget to check the description for those other links I referenced in the video. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.